Got to be real close. All right, how we doing? It's better? Awesome. Thanks, big guy. Okay, so timing starts as soon as the screen goes completely white after this cutscene. Do we have the timer reset? We're good? Okay. And start. So, hello, I'm GoatRope. This is Halo. I'm playing on the PC. This is Legendary difficulty. The last time Halo 1 was at a GDQ event was in 2010. The final time was 4 hours, 19 minutes, and it had to lower the difficulty twice. We're going to do better than that today. The people behind me are LeFoc, who is the world record holder for Easy, Halo 1 full game. Really, really optimized category. We have Reed Tiburon, the most influential speedrunner you've never heard of. He's just done amazing things for Halo. And of course, Mr. Monopoly, you probably know about, had the amazing Halo 2 run at SGDQ last year. So, I'm going to try to explain every single shortcut, every single trick in this run. We've already missed a couple, but you know, it's going to be fine. You may have noticed I didn't get a pistol there. If you leave that bridge really, really quickly, you don't get a pistol, but it also doesn't spawn a wave of enemies, which is just fantastic. The door opens faster. It's nice. Oof. So, it is possible to randomly die there. I should explain. If you watch Monopoly's run, you heard him talk about the concept of a risky strat being over time more effective than a safer strat, because safe strats in Halo are extremely slow and there's a lot of variance in enemy behavior. You can do the same thing 10 times in a row. It'll work like 70% of the time, but be 3 times as fast as the slow strat. The math works out, trust me. So in a lot of scenarios it may look bad that I'm dying. That one was particularly bad. This will come up again later, but the point is, we've done a lot of analysis on the strats we use, and even if it looks bad, it'll be fine. So right now, what we're worried about is grenade drops. It's unfortunate that we haven't gotten any so far. Hopefully these guys have a couple for us. 3's good. In this next area, I want to be very careful about how many enemies I kill, because if I kill more than, I think, 4 or 5, then a second wave of enemies will spawn. But if I can just cover these guys a bit, hop over, duck around. Oh, this is really, really rough. It'll clean itself up, don't worry. Usually you have a frag right here and you can clean the room up a bit better. Sometimes the Marines will throw a frag and it'll clean it up. That works itself out. But we'll work it out. Health pack.
There we go.
As you can see, pretty similar behaviors, different results. There are, I don't know, a couple hundred things that have a very small chance of happening poorly in this run. So we're probably going to come across some unfortunate circumstances, but I mean, if you speedrun Halo, you just get used to it. The skill in speedrunning Halo is very much adapting to different scenarios. This room in particular plays out very differently every time. This is a pretty clean clear. Very happy with that. That room can go very poorly. Again, we're keeping very, very close eye on grenade count. If we're ever without plasminades, it's probably going to be a nearly irrecoverable situation. Plasmas are extremely, extremely strong in this. I want to grab this extra one. Having 2 here is pretty essential. Next room has a lot of enemies that come out in like a couple second delay. So if we can get through here really quickly with a grenade jump, you actually take less damage despite grenading yourself. I'm getting chased pretty hard right now. Hopefully we don't get chased much harder than that. Looks like he's gotten bored, gone back to fighting the Marines in the past room. So, a couple enemies to clear here. It's nice to get a really big plasma grenade splash damage on these guys, but we didn't quite get it. That's fine. We'll recover. Grab a new gun. More plasma grenades. This guy should be low shields. Oh, he's not at all. Little double melee.
Nice, dude.
Or not anymore, but...
If those guys didn't notice me, they should just die to the nade like idiots. Close. Got it. So, working our way along. Not the world's best pace, but don't worry, it'll pick up. If you haven't watched Halo before, I think it's a very interesting run. It's got a lot of cool tricks, a lot of things that you probably wouldn't expect out of Halo.
Warning, blast doors closing.
hopefully we can get to those soon enough. It'll be cool. Now we have to wait for this door. A bunch of dialogue has to happen, and then it opens. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. Don't have a huge amount of control over it. Great.
Of course.
So coming up is another one of those rooms I mentioned where the risky strat is so much faster than the safe strat that you just do the risky strat. And even if you die once or twice on it, it's still going to be faster than the slow strat. So overcharge, grenade. Oh, we got blocked. Okay, we didn't get hit by the plasma splash, which is really, really, really good. We're low on plasmades, which is not good. There's a couple grunts here we're going to kill that might give us plasmades. I really hope they do, because yeah, the final area is very tough without plasmas. There's one. Got one grenade. Two more. Gonna kill this guy quickly. Alright, 3 should be enough. 4 is preferable, obviously, but 3 is enough to make it work. 5 yellow health is really good here. Often you'll be 2 red or 1 red or something. Makes it really tough to run past this group of elites around the corner. Hopefully we can get decent sticks, because these guys are gonna come up behind me later if I don't deal with them well. Oof, really? 5 yellow, 1 red's uncommon there. Alright, we're not super far back, right here. Got the startle on those guys, which is good. Sometimes they don't startle and they'll just shoot you. There you go, 0 damage. A little bit right at the end there. That's fine. This is the final room. Just have to clear it out, and then we'll be on to level 2.
Grenades in this game have crazy splash damage, so this is a really effective way to do this. And it's actually the intended way. That's why they give you, like, I think, like, what is it, 6 frags or something on that?
Yeah, something ridiculous there. It's also entirely possible to kill yourself with all the explosives in there. It gets a bit wild. Something that is probably going to come up later in the game is chain reactions. When a grenade is on the ground, if another explosive goes off near it, it will detonate that grenade for full damage. And that can happen very quickly, very unexpectedly. Especially with elites that drop up to like 6 plasma grenades at once. Things get pretty hectic. Anyway, we're supposed to be going left over that bridge there, but we're going to go up here, go to this little dark spot, put a nade, back up, forward, and up.
Nice.
Saves a few seconds walking, but it also despawns the first wave of enemies here, which is, it's obviously always good to despawn enemies, but this group is particularly annoying because it has a couple banshees in the air. And right now we don't have a plasma weapon. If you haven't played Halo much, plasma weapons are essential to killing elites, especially at this mid to long range that we would be fighting if the wave was here. So it's really tough to win this first fight with just AR pistol. Thankfully the next fight we're going to fight, which is now the first fight, the grunts and the elites are pretty separated. So we can pick off the grunts really quickly, get a plasma weapon, turn on the elites, and it should be an easier fight than this one would have been. There is, of course, it's Halo, of course, there's a small chance that the elites will path left and give us some trouble, but hopefully it doesn't happen. We'll see.
So as he was saying before, if you haven't played Halo before, basically you have shields and health. Plasma does very big damage to shields, but not as much to health. Our human weapons, such as bullets, other way around. Not as much to shields, but more to health. So you want to kind of have this plasma weapon so you can strip the shields, easy headshot, and it's the most efficient way of killing elites in every Halo game.
Yep. But we got pretty good positioning here. The elites were distracted with the Marines on the side. We got to pick up a plasma gun. Now we're good. Pick these guys up quickly. Really want to grab plasma nades right now. Did they not drop any? Really hope we can grab... Yeah, there's 2 back here. Kind of sucks to backtrack, but it's absolutely worth it. This area is nearly uncompletable without plasma nades. We're going to do something unorthodox right now. Shoot Johnson in the face. There are a lot of things in this game that rely on dialogue to finish before they'll actually progress. So those 2 Marines have a discussion about our situation, and then once they're done, then the enemy waves start coming. But if you kill one of them, the conversation just ends instantly. So that's going to happen a few times in this game. The Marines don't do super well in the speedrun, as you'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy because this level, if you haven't played the game, it's all about saving Marines.
Yeah, and, that's the entire objective.
We'll do a little bit of that, maybe, but not really.
There will be some Marines saved. Some Marines are extremely, extremely important to save. Others, quite the opposite. You'll see. So we're gonna pick up this needler and then drop it in a second. Is there? Give me a plasma pistol. There we go. So we're gonna get to that needler. I'm gonna need later, and weapons will despawn unless you pick them up. If you pick up a gun and drop it, it'll stay there forever until you exit the game. So we're gonna need that later. So I just picked up and dropped it. There are 5 dropship ways you have to get through here. If you've played this game before, you're probably thinking, hey, you can actually walk past this area and progress on foot. And yeah, that's absolutely correct. But the second half of the level is so laborious on foot that it's absolutely worth, especially on Legendary, absolutely worth doing this kind of long fight just to get the Warthog so we can move quickly through the final area.
So these dropships, I believe they're on timers. So if you are very slow in killing certain waves, then you won't be in proper position. So it's actually very important that because you spawn so far apart, walking speed not that fast. If you mess up a fight, then you're gonna get yourself in trouble. But Gorob is very good at this.
If you end up with a dropship landing and unloading its enemies, which are in predictable spawn patterns, thankfully, if they get the enemies dropped off, it becomes about 10 times as hard to clear it. Killing the elites is really nice because it sends the grunts into a panic. This is maybe the toughest one to clean up on time. The 4th dropship is very, very quick to arrive. So I have to kill these guys as I'm running towards it already. As I said, if you're late on this one, it's real bad. Real bad. I've had it happen. This side has the potential to be the toughest part of this fight. There are either going to be 2 or 3 elites on here. If you get 3 elites, it's really tough. If you get 2, it's whatever. And I am one weird quirk. I'm being careful not to go directly under the dropships while they're hovering like that. Oh, we got 3 elites. Because for one reason or another, if you go too far underneath the dropship, it'll just stall in the air for like 45 seconds. Like the AI doesn't want to crush you or something, even though it's flying. I don't really know why it behaves that way, but it does. So just one small thing to have consideration for. That's 4 out of 5. Last dropship's coming in, but I really need a new plasma pistol. There we go. This wave shouldn't be super hard. There's only 1 elite on this, but if he gets into a tricky position, things can get weird, because this is the 1 elite that I can't be there in time for to kill quickly. That's good. This guy can be really dodgy with the overcharges. So, happy with that. That's pretty good clear of that area. Now we're just waiting for the Pelican to come in with the Warthog. So we've got time to hop up here, grab some ammo, some grenades, some health. We don't actually need health. This went really well.
Speaking of ammo, one of the interesting things about this run that he's doing non-stop, and you'll notice if you know about Halo 1, is he's backpack reloading. And what that means is when you fire your weapon and you double tap reload and then you switch your weapon, the weapon will continue reloading even though you don't have it out. So that allows you to fire your other weapon while weapon number 1 is reloading, and it just optimizes combat. And it's so essential that when I play Halo 1 and then I play other Halo games, I try and do it without realizing it doesn't work in Halo 2 or any other Halo game.
Yep. It is incredibly frustrating for me to move to other Halo games and actually have to reload my weapon in front of me. There are maybe like 3 or 4 points in this entire run where you'll see me actually manually reload a weapon. Every other time will be a backpack reload. Very, very handy. It just becomes second nature after a while. There's everybody's favorite Cortana quote. So got a bit of driving ahead of us. There's a cool trick coming up that I'm going to be doing, I think, 3 times in this path. It's called a Warthog Fling. The brief description is if you turn the Warthog hard right as you exit it, you will hop out and be standing there as the Warthog is spinning, and the back of the Warthog will actually hit you and send you flying forward. It doesn't kill you for some reason. I don't really know why, but it just works. So I'm going to use that to hopefully fling myself up this ledge, which will skip a pretty difficult fight. Just got it, just got it. That also results in a cutscene skip. Pushing that button is supposed to cause a cutscene to happen. But if you... we'll talk about the Marines later, don't worry. If you go the path I did, it skips the cutscene, which is great because it's a really long, annoying cutscene, and as soon as you come out of it, those red leaks that I need are right up in your face, killing you. So there's a bit more driving ahead. We can do a couple donations.
Sweet. Okay, so we have a $200 donation from Martin Hotzel. Thank you. We have a $50 donation from Hadarith. Thank you. We have a $25 donation from Dreadkanam. It's not much, but it's all I can spare at the moment to make Metal Wolf Chaos happen. Thanks for all the great runs. $50 from Blood Pit. Good luck on the run, Goat Rope. Don't let this Goldie smack you.
He's a Halo runner.
Alright, so this is the second area of the level, and what you need to know about this, as Reed said, it's a marine rescue mission. So there are 3 crash sites. It's kind of non-linear. You can visit them in whatever order you want. So obviously that has potential to optimize for a speed run. But things get a bit counterintuitive, which you'll see in a second. There are 3 areas. You have to clear the first 2, you just clear, and then the Marines go away. And then the 3rd area you have to clear legitimately. But what Bungie... I guess I don't really know the thought process behind why this is true, but they actually allow you to fail the objective in 2 out of 3 areas, which doesn't seem super useful until you realize that if we really want to, we can accelerate the failure of the objective, murder every Marine in sight, and we're done. Instead of having to kill the 20 or 30 Covenant up top, plus dropship reinforcements, it's like 4 or 5 minutes of fighting, just a couple nades to some helpless Marines and crewmen. And we're on our way. That's 1 out of 3.
Congrats on saving them.
Well done.
There's going to be a couple Banshees out here. Shouldn't be a huge problem. Sometimes they'll flip you, but generally they're not a big deal.
The triggers on this level are generally very weird. So if you go into an area and then you leave it, sometimes there will be enemies that are supposed to spawn on timers once you enter the area, but then you leave it and then you come back and there's just 100 enemies or something waiting for you. And it happens in this area specifically. It's called the Rock Slide Medic Battle. It's like a thing that you can do for casual play, and it's kind of fun.
Yep. So this area is actually a bit easier to fail the objective on because most of the Marines are in an upfront battle with the Covenant, and they're legendary difficulty Covenant, and Marines do not scale with difficulty as far as I'm aware. So the ones down below all die. Now I'm doing something very specific here. So I am going to save a checkpoint here because there's a chance that this could just break completely. You can see the yellow dots on the radar. I'm waiting for them to engage the Covenant. I really wish they would. Sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it doesn't. This is a bit... We definitely need these guys to die before we move on, or the level will not complete at all. This is unusual.
Yeah, they're being a little scared.
Yeah, they certainly are.
Yeah,
I may have distracted them, the Covenant away a bit, which is too bad. There they go, now they're fighting a bit.
Nice. As soon as you jump to another rock.
Yeah. So we can hear them fighting, we can hear them dying. It shouldn't be too long now that they've actually aggroed properly. So a bit of time lost there, which sucks, but still 10 times faster than actually clearing this area legitimately would be. Oh, I still see one on the radar. I really hope he dies, otherwise we're going to have to revert to that save file I just made. Smash crash. Moving on, we should be able to ignore these guys. Really hope that clears. So moving on to the 3rd area. I should point out, there we go, search for last survivors. That's the success message, I guess. Success for failure. Something I should point out is that if you've played Halo before, you may be thinking, hey, killing Marines makes them turn on you. And it's true, if you shoot 2 Marines to death on Legendary, then every Marine on the entire level will turn on you and start fighting you. But what they do forgive you for are what they deem accidental kills. So in the first area I used grenades, which have splash damage, so the game just says, oh, it must have been an accident that he grenaded those folks. We'll forgive him for that. And the Warthog splatter as well is considered an accident. So they just don't care. They let me murder as many people as I want, as long as I do it in a specific way. So like I said, we have to clear all the enemies in here. There should only be 1 reinforcement wave, which is good. It's the fastest of all the 3 areas by quite a bit. And I should point out that in the last area I specifically picked up the sniper passenger because he's by far the best, the most DPS or whatever you want to say, as long as he stays alive. Gunner's a little bit low health, but that's not a huge deal. Oh, this guy's still up, look at that. Could be 2 Jackals and then a dropship to kill, and then that'll be it for Halo. The level, of course. Very confusing when we're keeping track of records. There's a level called Halo when the game's called Halo, and there's a Halo 3 level called Halo, which is just bizarre. So I can't do a whole lot in the Warthog. I'm just kind of waiting for the sniper and the gunner to clean them up because they're very, very high damage. Sometimes a grunt will hide somewhere, but if Cortana says that's the last of them, then we're good.
That's the last of them.
Alright.
Nice.
Roger that. I'm on
So
my way.
level's just on a timer now. Hopefully we can find a
New traffic on the
grenade
Covenant
pile or
battle
something to
line.
do something fun with.
I found
Oh.
Captain Keyes. He's being held on a Covenant cruiser, the Truth and Reconciliation.
Yeah.
Oh, don't kill yourself.
I've actually killed runs that way. I get a really big blast and it just lands on me. A little bit sad.
So the next level coming up is going to be very cool and very, very trick heavy.
One of my favorites for sure.
And it's also going to be pretty difficult. So it's one of the hyper parts of the run, in my opinion.
Absolutely. A lot of really cool tricks, a lot of really tough combat. I'd call this probably the second toughest level in the game, in the speedrun at least. Some of the levels that are traditionally difficult are actually really, really easy in the speedrun, relatively speaking. Unskippable cutscenes. Some cutscenes in this game are skippable, others are not. Any level where you're flown in on a pelican is unskippable. I guess that's related, but others are just arbitrarily unskippable. Don't really know why. So this is the sniper level. You'll note I have 64 plus 4 ammo right now. That's breaking the game's rules. You're supposed to have a max capacity of 24, but they just really wanted a sniper level, so...
Yeah, they gave Master Chief a backpack full of ammo, apparently.
So hopefully we can get the elites quickly. That's good. Really want the jackals down. I do have to kill quite a few enemies here because the Marines that I'm with, if they die, then I end up getting flanked by Covenant later, and it's really, really impossible to deal with. Battling on two fronts there. Alright, that elite running out is on a pretty predictable timer, so he's pretty easy to pick off, thankfully. This outdoor area is probably the toughest combat in the level. There's 3 areas. The second one's definitely the hardest. It's coming up. Hopefully we can get a checkpoint before it. Sometimes you don't. Watching out for chain reactions here. Checkpoint. Nope, no checkpoint. So, oh, there we go. That's nice. That was very late, but it worked. Really good, because there's a chance of dying here for sure. This blue elite should land and do a stupid stun animation. Yeah, it makes for a really easy headshot. Red guy should be around here. Overcharge headshots. A very, very quick way to kill elites on Legendary. Oh yeah, I've gotten crushed by that thing before, where I grenade it and then it just comes flying down at me. Thankfully it didn't happen. So, being careful, grabbing nades. As soon as I come around this corner, there's going to be an elite running over the hill, accompanied... Oh, he's already here, look at that. That's a strange trigger. That's good. Sometimes that guy gets really dodgy and he's like impossible to hit with the plasma overcharge. Really happy we got him. That's maybe the scariest part of the level out of the way. I don't know, that's tough to define. It's a scary part out of the way, which is good. This area is pretty trivial. There's a camouflage. It's nice.
So if you guys are watching Go Rope hit all these headshots and you're thinking, is this guy good at multiplayer? We were playing split screen earlier and he was wrecking us, just trashing us in Halo 1. So, yeah, he's kind of okay.
Until we switched to Halo 2 and then I lost, what, 15-2? Monopoly's like sword flying at me from across lockout. That was a good time. So I'm camouflaged, and here's a weird consideration if you ever camouflaged in Halo. Don't turn your flashlight on. For some reason, I don't know why, the enemies can see you as if you're fully uncamouflaged if you have your flashlight on. Which is weird because, look, it doesn't actually show anything. Your flashlight graphic doesn't show up, but it reveals you somehow. I really don't know why it's true. We only found that out recently. We thought camo was just bugged. Like, there are certain areas you get the camo, and if you had flashlight on and didn't realize that was the problem, you would just be getting killed over and over and over and over and over, totally unaware of why it was happening. But thankfully we solved it. We've had a huge influx of new players in the scene recently, and it's brought a bunch of really good info to light. A bunch of triggers that we've been poring over for like 10 years, unable to figure out. Finally we've got dudes that are researching it, testing it, hours at a time, and building new tech for us runners to use. It's really, really cool to see. So this is the gravity lift fight. It's pretty intense. We've got 8 waves like this to kill. Each wave arrives when there's 1 enemy alive in the area. So hopefully we can keep track of the enemy count and time. Nice grenades. Oh, easy. It's also very, 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 very... that's too many varies. It's pretty important to keep Marines alive here. For a weird reason. If I lose a single Marine in this area, then we're going to get an extra like reinforcement cutscene, which takes about 40 seconds, I believe we timed it at. And it's totally meaningless. Like, the Marines disappear after a cutscene anyway. It just loses you time for no reason. So I'm a little bit unhappy about how far forward the Marines have walked. Oh, there goes one. So we're going to lose 40 seconds to that. But whatever. It's not always avoidable. The Marines are very unreliable. Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit there's a fair amount of randomness in this game. If you want a non-random Halo to run, just run easy. Legendary combat adds a huge amount of variance to the game. Easy is, for most Halo games, easy is the most popular category, and usually the most optimized one. It's just about movement, about tricks. If you haven't watched a Halo run before, you should really check it. Each game is like pretty unique in what it has, and there's really a lot of cool different tricks and glitches and shortcuts. And a lot of secrets
people see
breaking.
these runs.
But
Koro, is there a website we could go to?
there is a website. In February of this year, we Halo Runners United and made a website called HaloRuns.com. I don't want to promote too much, but it's taken off really well. We've seen a massive influx, largely thanks to Monopoly's promotion of Halo 2 in new runners. I think right now we have like 44 people with time submitted for Halo 2 Easy, which is unreal. Like, we've been running this game for over 10 years now. Like, Halo speedrunning started in 2004, approx. And we've had like 6 or 10 people maybe playing it. In the last 6 months, it's just exploded, absolutely. So, okay, we got the glitch. That's awesome. So we didn't have to wait for the reinforcement that I mentioned. I don't really know why it happened. That didn't work. There's too much to explain. Killing that Marine will sometimes do a dialogue skip. We didn't get it. It picks a random Marine to do the dialogue. So you have to kill a random one and hope it gets it. So now we have to wait for Kana to finish talking before the waves start spawning. This is another wave fight. This level's kind of all about wave fights. This one has 10 waves. They're a bit nicer, a bit easier to kill than the previous one. And the previous one, I mentioned it functions by when there's one enemy left alive. There he is. When there's one enemy left alive in the previous wave, the next wave spawns. These ones are different. These ones are on a pretty short timer. So if you fall behind, they start spawning at an increased rate. You're dealing with multiple waves at once, and it's really tough to recover from. So hopefully we can keep the pace up. There are a lot of gold elites that show up here. I should point out, before it happens, so I don't look like an idiot, the #1 cause of death in this room, and in many other rooms in this game, is a friendly grenade from a Marine landing underneath me and exploding. They try to help, but they're not super good at it. Sometimes they'll land a good grenade, but sometimes they won't. #2 cause of death here is me getting cocky and trying to melee sword elites. It looks really cool when it works, but it doesn't always. So, I've lost count of waves. You're really supposed to count them, but it's tough to keep track while you're fighting. There's 10 waves, it's a lot. We'll get a checkpoint when it's done. I should point out that this level is actually really sparse on checkpoints. That whole area from when I got the camouflage to when we got the cutscene to enter the ship was all one checkpoint. If I died at any point there, I would have gone back to when I was camoed at the start. So I'm really glad I got through that. And this as well, 10 waves, no checkpoints. Pretty brutal to mess up. You know, I've been practicing a lot, so hopefully it continues to go as well as it's going.
Yeah, I should point out, like we were talking about this before, Goro makes it look way easier than it actually is. I think Monopoly did a run of Halo 1 Legendary, and it was like, oh man.
This level took me an hour and a half. I accidentally restarted halfway through though, but it was still just terrible. It's really hard. It looks easy when he does it, but the waves are not easy.
Yeah, and if you fall behind, like he said, the room will just get swarmed with enemies. You'll either get grenaded by an enemy, you'll get grenaded by an ally. A grenade will go off on the ground. There's a lot of ways to die in this place.
Sometimes the waves are a little hesitant to come out. If they spawn on the far side, like the AI won't detect you and they'll just sit in the hall behind. I sense that this is the last wave. Oh no, there's another wave over there. I do want to conserve snipe ammo, but it's not always an option. Okay, this guy's not going to dodge. We're getting really good dodge luck today, which is nice. So hopefully that kills them. I want to be near the camo right here. No, I didn't quite. Okay, Marine got him. If we get a checkpoint, yep. I'm going to pick up the camo. There's hunters that you're supposed to fight, and up until like a month ago, we used to fight these things, but we found out that you don't actually have to. If you walk slightly past, stand here, and then go back to this door, it will actually open for you. Oh, we got super lucky. The hunter opened the door. Usually there's a bit of a delay. Yeah, so that's just a quick way to exit that room. Next room's kind of annoying. It's called the RNG room. So if you've watched speedruns before, you've probably seen the idea of a door that you don't have permission to open, but enemies have permission to open. And you just have to somehow lure an enemy into opening the door for you. That's the goal in this room. It's pretty random where enemies are positioned. I'm gonna try to berserk this guy. No. No, he might. Yeah, okay, he did the animation. He should run at me and open this door. All right, he's close enough. Nice, we're through. That's really
Nice.
good. That room can go very, very badly.
That skips a whole bunch of fighting and waiting
Yeah.
for the doors
Oh, yeah.
to actually open.
That's another wave fight. They love their wave fights, but
Basically,
we
what's
beat that
supposed to
one.
happen is like you're supposed to go around, hit a switch. Your Marine buddies come join you. You fight through the level. Just skips all that. You know, we just go indoors we're not supposed to go in and wander around places we're not supposed to be.
Yep. So this next room is another attempt at making me play a wave fight, but it has one of my favorite tricks on the run, and I really like it because for people who haven't watched Halo, it's the kind of thing that they don't expect to exist in Halo. So we're in a big room, supposed to do a bunch of wave fights and wait for Cortana to hack a door or something. All you need to know for this trick is that this power-up makes me invincible for about 2 or 3 seconds.
Nice.
That's the first of what we like to call the big four, and by we I mean me. There are 4 kind of really, really difficult tricks relative to the rest of the game. Oh, that's good. That new players usually have trouble with, and we've got all sorts of tutorials and videos and such. Here I am accidentally promoting again. But no, I'm very, very happy to get that first try. It's actually super tough. Unless you're Monopoly, who just randomly does it on his first try. Wait, why is that guy alive? Thought we killed you. Weird. So I do have to clear every enemy in this room. There aren't waves, thankfully. It's just clear the room and then the door will open. Oh, Jackal, please. A lot of damage. Jackals are the most annoying enemy in the series, in case you're unaware. Doesn't matter the game. They're just annoying.
The only thing worse than jackals are jackals with sniper rifles.
Yeah. Really bad enemy design. Anyway, it's really important to kill those 3 grunts as well, because we're going to backtrack to this point, and if those guys are still up, they're going to notify some enemies that we would like to ambush otherwise. Just some basic combat. No elites in this hall, which is nice. But again, we're going to be backtracking here, so it is important to clear everything so we're not fighting double enemies later on. Catching up with the story, we're trying to rescue Captain Keyes right now. Are you, really?
Wow.
That's weird. That's Jackals. They'll just do really huge spikes of damage. Not a huge time loss. Whatever. It's TNR. This TNR has been going well anyway, so I'll take that. That's a bit cleaner.
Yeah, this level was on really good pace before this, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, hitting those tricks, you're not supposed to hit them first try almost.
Yeah.
You know, it's not expected.
Took a really long time to get those consistent. So there is an active camo in the room to our left, but we're going to avoid it. Shouldn't really need it. I used to get it because I used to be kind of a baby about this game. But things are better now. Got the double headshot, which is good. Camo elites here, which thankfully, here's a funny, I'll talk about the camo thing later. Right now we just want to clear this room, rescue Keyes, and then we're going to do kind of a weird trick. Ooh, the needle damage. We killed, yeah, we got Goldie, we're good. So, do have to kill everybody in this room. We have to hit this button, and then there's going to be a cutscene on a timer, but we have just enough time to run through this force field and pick up a bit of health, grenades, and ammo.
We should head back to the
Did we
shuttle
get
bay
it?
and call for
Yeah,
aid.
no. I don't know. The cutscene timer is kind of random. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, fighting our way back to the bridge. Yeah, I was going to talk about the camo. On an NVIDIA graphics card, invisible enemies in this game are like almost unseeable. It's like super broken until, believe it or not, about like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, Bungie released a patch for this game, which, among other things, fixed the camo glitch. Oh, that's bad.
no.
Rip.
So this is an escort mission, which is undesirable in general. Captain Keyes and his friends like to throw grenades, like to stand on grenades. Keyes likes to make needler explosions happen. It's an escort mission. If you've played a video game, you know what's happening. But we're gonna get a little bit of, I don't know, retribution at the end of it, don't worry. Oof, big chain reaction, almost caught me. Pretty scary. More double shot action.
But yeah, like Goat was saying, they patched this game in 2014.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2001. Well, not for the PC, but it came out in 2001.
Yep. All right, so here's where things are going to get weird. So at the end of this level, there's a conversation that these guys have to have. And as you saw in earlier missions, if you kill an ally who's doing dialogue, he will skip the conversation. But the dialogue we need to skip is Captain Keys, and if you kill him, then the mission fails and you revert, which we saw happen a minute ago. So what we have to do is betray the other Marine so that Captain Keys is mad at us and starts shooting us, which is what happened there. And unfortunately, he did a little bit too much damage to us. So we're going to try that again, hopefully have better positioning, better spacing. But it's a massive time save, so it's definitely worth at least trying.
Yeah, that cutscene's like 40 seconds.
Yeah, minimum. There is a chance that the Marines will like not notice that you're betraying all your allies, and they won't turn on you, which sucks. It's time lost, but it happens.
Yeah, and just to remind everyone, this is a rescue mission, so that's why we're killing the Marines.
Yeah. We're not very good at rescuing. Okay, let's try this again. Other Marines aren't going to pass down the hall. There's one. This might work. These might not notice. No, I didn't notice. We got one more shot at this. If it doesn't happen, then we're just going to have to listen to the dialogue. Please. Oh, he noticed. That's good. So we've gotten around the corner. He probably won't kill us, but he might kill himself.
He's not very smart.
Yeah, we're kind of adding chaos to an already horrible escort mission.
They should get a checkpoint.
Because you can see there's grenades on the ground, and he can throw a grenade and ignite them on the ground and just blow himself up. He likes to do it a lot. All we have to do is kill these 3 Inviso elites, and then we should be good. He'll still be trying to fight me, but we're going to skip some dialogue. And if somehow you still remember how that level is actually supposed to go, in a normal playthrough, you would realize that the level doesn't actually end in that room. You're supposed to have to go back to the loading bay where we did the big triple grenade jump, and you're supposed to have to do stuff in there. But because we did the triple grenade jump, it kind of breaks the triggers in that area such that it just satisfies the mission end condition instantly. It's not fully understood, but it works and it's consistent, so it saves another like 30 or 60 seconds. It's pretty nice. This is Silent Cartographer. Really cool map. Everybody loves it casually. Everybody loves it as a speedrun. Historically, it's like the cool speedrun level. It was the shortest level for a very long time, despite having a minute of walking along a beach. But it's always been really fascinating in that the time has only come from like 418 to like 340 over the last 10 years, but the route has changed, I don't know, over a dozen times. We actually had a period a month or 2 ago where there was a tied world record between 2 different people. I think it was Khan and Vitroxity, really good runners. They had a tied world record, and they both did totally different routes. I think Khan did the window bump, Vitroxity did the quadruple nade with the overshield, and they both got the exact same time doing totally different routes. Really, really cool. There's a lot of ways to approach this level. We're going to do a reasonably safe one, but still kind of unsafe just because it's fast. If you don't know the layout of this level, it's a huge circular island that, again, is pretty non-linear. There are 2 installations on the map. One is a map on the level. One's the map room. One's the security station. When you go to the map room, they lock the door on you, and then, according to Bungie, you have to go to the security room, unlock the door, and then go back to the map room. It's open, and you can progress as normal. It's a speed run, so we're not going to concern ourselves with the locked door. This is a difficult trick. This is another one of the famous Big Four. Hopefully we can drive in here effectively, not lose too much health, and then we will hopefully get a cool clip before they lock the door on us. Sometimes you get stuck by a grunt in here. It's kind of unavoidable. Didn't happen, which is nice. Good driving.
Covenant are putting up a real fight.
All right, fingers crossed on this one. There's gonna be a lot of tricks really fast here, so... Oh, didn't get it. We'll go for the granny strat, I guess, if we don't die here. There is a backup, thankfully. Sometimes it takes a bit of time, but, oh, really? All right, this is a great opportunity to talk about broken checkpoints. So, if you're playing this on Xbox, or if you're playing on 30 FPS, which is not something I want to do, you actually get an extra checkpoint at the bottom of that ramp. For some reason, there are a number of checkpoints in this game that don't occur if you're playing at too high of a frame rate. We don't know why, but we know that it's consistent. We've tested it. It's kind of annoying. It makes retrying this trick a whole lot easier.
Don't let them lock the doors.
That's
Nice.
better. That's better. So I shot to skip the cutscene, Jump down here, you're not really supposed to do that. Gonna jump down here again, and this would kill me, but again, landing on the overshield, boom, invincibility, we're good. Just skipped a whole bunch of enemies, which is really, really favorable. However, we now have to get out of here. So we didn't kill any enemies on the way down, and it just spawned the other half of the enemies. So now there's twice as many enemies. Kind of annoying. We just hitman that elite, by the way. He's looking our way, but if you throw the grenade, he'll turn. You can backsmack them both. Really want to pick up a plasma pistol. Thankfully we got this guy. Sometimes he'll have a needler, sometimes he won't even walk forward. Getting the plasma pistol is absolutely crucial. Quick little grenade jump. Hopefully we can kill these 2 jackals. Nice. So I'm going to pick up active camouflage. I'm invisible for 45 seconds, and we are on a serious timer right now. 45 seconds is just enough time to get past all the enemies on the way out. So if I lose even like 2 or 3 seconds, I'm probably going to have to revert. Hopefully everything goes well. Sometimes you can get blocked, knocked down. I'm going to take a kind of safe route here. Oh boy. Calm down. Alright. This is another point where when I was younger playing this game, I would have my flashlight on and just get killed over and over and over and over, not realizing that the flashlight was revealing me. Camouflage. We're pretty good at this point. Those are the scariest jumps. The elite positioning in the final room can sometimes cause issues, but we have enough plasmas. The camo's pretty good. We should be fine. Hopefully we can get a checkpoint right here. Doesn't always happen. Okay, we got it. That's good. Nice safety. We actually got 2 there. That's funny. So, camo's just running out. Alright. We should be able to leave grenades behind. You should leave us alone. Now the gold elite's going to be here. Should be a quick kill. I forget who's still alive out here. Yeah, the elite's still alive out here. We're going to throw some grenades. Clear the area out, because you can definitely die on your way out here. Very tight corridor. You're not really supposed to be in a jeep right now. But these grunts, they really like to, they really like to throw grenades at you. I've lost runs in this exact scenario where that grunt just chucks a nade. You don't have a lot of room to escape. These guys are going to die for some reason. Weird trigger, I don't know. The end of the level's on a timer at this point, so we can just drive around and do whatever. There's an overshield on the beach. We'll just grab it for safety. We're just killing time until the dropship comes and picks us up. So done perfectly. That level's, what, 3:39 long on easy? I think it's like 3:49 on legendary. Really quick level. Not the fastest in the game, but really quick.
And I just want to point out, those were some very difficult jumps done very quickly while commentating, and it's crazy to me because it's very easy to mess up. And that 45-second timer, if you, like he said, 2-3 seconds, then you decamo a little too early, and then there's 3 elites staring right at you. So
jumping in this game's a little blocky. Like you're floaty, it's weird, and the whole Halo series kind of has floaty jumps.
The jumping's not super great now.
Yeah, so doing precise jumps is very difficult.
This one, the jump height is lower in this game, and also there's a little bit of a delay on a jump. So you hit the button, and it's just enough to be noticeable. So sometimes if you're not standing directly on the ground, you might be sliding a little bit. It'll just eat your jump.
And there's no save jumps. In later Halo games, if you kind of hit the edge of a ledge, you can sort of save yourself by jumping again and catching up. Doesn't happen in this game. This is Assault on the Control Room. One of the coolest levels conceptually to speedrun, but kind of boring to watch and play for a simple reason. It would be an incredibly long, incredibly difficult level if we were to play it normally, but it has one single trick on it that nullifies the entire map, basically, which is really nice. This game would be really agonizing if you had to beat this level the way it was intended. Hopefully we can clear this guy. Yeah. So these are the only 2 rooms we have to deal with, and then we're going to do the hardest trick in the game, and then we're just going to hang out, and it'll be cool. Really wish you didn't get the jackal spawn here. It's important that I keep health up, because we're going to have to deal with a banshee outside later that you can't really fight back at, and if you're too low health, it'll just kill you. So, jackals again, really high like spike damage, I guess burst damage you would call it. Again, gonna hang out, get the shields back up. We're taking this a bit slow, just for safety strats. If you watch the IL of this run, they just barrel right through here, somehow dodge everything. So these are the last enemies we're gonna have to deal with. This is the AOTCR Bridgefall, number 3 of the big 4. You're supposed to go across this bridge and do a bunch of stuff that I haven't done in like 8 years. We're just going to drop down here instead. This is a 3-part trick. First fall is easy. Second fall is, I guess, the hardest trick in the game. Hopefully I can get it quickly. Feels good. Yeah, that's really, really tough. But we're not done yet. We're not home free. We still have to get to the ground. That's a bad rock. Little known fact about Halo, some of the geometry, including geometry that tricks are reliant upon, is randomly generated every time you load the map. So that rock I looked at, sometimes you'll get a really smooth, easy rock to land on. Sometimes you get a weird, broken, jaggedy one like that. But I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go for a slightly slower, seconds or 4 seconds slower. Not a big deal. But if we can make this fall, then we've just skipped about 20 minutes of content.
Boom.
Yeah.
No damage.
I'll do it again. So we just broke the entire level. It's kind of like a reverse domino effect, where if one trigger fails to trigger, then the rest will just wait on that one forever. So the entire map's going to be empty. No enemies, no music, no checkpoints except for one that's hard-coded. But thankfully the vehicles still spawn, the buttons all still work, the doors still work, and crucially, the level end trigger still works. There are a few levels that you can do this kind of like complete shutdown on, but on all the other levels where you can do it, the level end trigger also fails to load. So I'm going to be driving through a totally empty map for the next like 4 minutes, so we can do a whole bunch of donations.
Sweet. Okay, so first I'd like to announce you have $340 of your choice wherever you want to go. So do you have a preference for your donations?
Go.
Do you have a preference for where you'd like your donations to
Oh,
go?
sorry. I have no idea. Someone on the couch can pick. Sorry, I can't really hear the host.
What to put it to?
Yep.
Where do you want your donations to go?
No, you get a pick.
Just put it to the next thing that hasn't been met, I guess. The next bonus game or something.
Okay, I think that's Metal Wolf Chaos. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a $10 donation from Wonton. Hey Goat, good
Hey,
luck
Wonton.
good luck on the run, and here's to a deathless 2 betrayals.
Yeah.
Almost.
Thanks, Wonton.
$20 from Sky Ranger. My Aunt Carol is watching. I'll donate $20 more if everyone yells, "Sentai, Aunt Carol, notice me." You want to do this? Okay, 3, 2. A Sentai, Aunt Carol, notice me.
So we're supposed to yell that?
Yep,
Sentai and Carol, notice me.
There we
Sweet.
go.
awesome. Okay, $50 donation from Ben P. You guys are doing great work. Much love from Gearbox Software.
Oh,
400
Gearbox, dude.
Gearbox is cool.
Gearbox is the
made
company
this
that
game.
They
ported
did this port, yeah.
Yeah.
$420.69 from Stick.
Yeah, Stick. That's a good friend of mine.
420.69.
He likes funny numbers.
He would.
Have a great run, Go Rope. Shoutouts to the Mumble crew.
Yeah.
We have a $70 donation from John Bar. You can just tell me when to shut up too. There's a lot of them, so. We have a $10 donation from Sicko. Please don't ever drop the Halo runs from the marathon. Halo hype. Put these towards the runner's choice, that's going to Metal Wolf Chaos. $35 from Paper Boat. Did you know if you say HaloRuns.com 3 times in a mirror at midnight, Goat Rope appears?
This is true. That's how
It's
we
been
got him here.
proven.
He didn't even have to fly.
I say it in a chat sometimes, and Goro's just like, "Hello, did someone mention me?"
We have a $20 donation from Bay. Good luck, Goat Rope. I'll donate another $1 for every time you call the Warthog a Halo car during your run.
I've stopped calling it a Halo car.
Jeep.
Don't worry.
You still call it a Jeep.
You called it a Jeep.
It is a
earlier.
Jeep.
It's
It's
not
not a Jeep.
It is a Jeep.
It's not a Jeep.
In the game,
I've heard truck. I've heard people say truck.
It's not a truck either. It's
I
a
know.
Warthog or a Puma. Those are your 2 options.
Puma's alright.
Sometimes my brain just doesn't have room to store the word Warthog in it, so it gets called a car or a truck or Jeep. In the game code, it's the command is create Jeep.
Okay.
You also call the plasma pistol and plasma rifle plasma guns. So
Yeah, that's fine though, because you never use a plasma rifle.
that's true. Almost done with this level.
Almost done.
One of the interesting things about this level, like he said before, the vehicles spawn. The reason they spawn is because the vehicles will spawn, the pilots won't. So the pilots are supposed to spawn inside the vehicles, but when they don't spawn, the vehicle just sits there on the ground. That's the reason we have this Banshee right now.
Yep, you're never actually supposed to fly a vehicle in this level. You're supposed to have ground vehicles only. Oh, massive time saves. Lots of indoor areas just skipped by getting a flying vehicle.
Good
That's
level.
it.
Yeah.
Good job.
First try is crazy.
This is 343 Guilty Spark. Spoiler alert, this is where we find out about the flood.
The what?
This is kind of an innocuous level. It's kind of the silent killer of runs. It doesn't have any single huge trick. It just has like 14 really small things that can go wrong. And it kind of like tricks you into thinking you don't have to practice it, and then it just slaughters your run, sadly. So, hopefully it goes well. Quick little grenade jump at the start here just to hop out of the map. 1, 2, 3. I need to count things out loud. Got bad brain. Little known fact about this outdoor area is that you can actually spot some flood forms early. The reveal has not happened yet, but if you get to the right spot, look in the right area, you can actually see them for like a tiny, tiny glimpse, and they'll run away and disappear. I never saw one playing normally. I don't know if people actually did, but those of us who replayed the game a lot actually ended up finding them. It's pretty cool.
Also, fun fact, that AR shooting that you just saw that all the enemies were running away from, those are just assault rifles floating in the air. There's no enemies actually holding them.
Yep, if you approach from the right angle, you can actually see the ARs just floating there shooting. It's kind of weird. So I'm going to hold W off this elevator, and it's going to kind of bump me in the air like that. It just barely lowers the fall timer enough that I can land without taking damage. This is a pretty risky area, but doing it safely is extremely, extremely slow. We're just going to kind of go for it. Hopefully that nade does well. No, didn't do well at all. Clear it out, get through. Alright, I'm happy about that.
That's pretty good.
Five blue is fine here. Hopefully we get a jackal opening the door. We do. This door takes a half second to open, but if there's a jackal close to it, it'll be open. Small thing, but it can make a huge world of difference, because in that half second, 1, 2, 3, in that half second, a jackal can absolutely take you from like 6 blue to dead. Gonna skip the cutscene for the blood reveal. This is the reveal room. There are actually ways to trick out of this level, this area, and skip it completely, but they're so like long and difficult that it's just totally impractical. You have to bring like a shade turret all the way down here using like 14 nades. Doesn't really work for a speedrun. Anyway, we have 3 doors of infection floods to kill, and then the entrance will open and we can start backtracking and progressing with the level. Pretty simple killing. If I had more grenades here, I could be grenading the inside, but you just don't have the count for it, and you really need the grenade jumps early and late in the level. Pretty tough to pick up nades on this map. There's there's not a single elite on this level, and elites are usually your primary source of plasma nades. So we'll make do with what we have, just AR them a bit. Standing still is actually a very effective strategy against infections, as long as you have shields. An infection, if you're standing still, an infection will just run into you and instantly pop. Do a tiny bit of damage to your shields, but not enough to really worry about. Now, that could be better. Really want to clear this area out. Nah. Missed the nade, so we're going to just lure them out and hopefully run past them all. There's a chance of getting blocked here on the way out. Yeah, things are looking scary. It's a health pack at least.
Help.
Really don't want to die there, because we go back to the start of the reveal room. Very glad we didn't die there. Sometimes they'll just 3-stooge you and just fully block it. Like 3 of them will just sit shoulder to shoulder, completely obstructing the pathway. And you don't have a shotgun yet, so it's really, really tough to deal with them. A little bit more running to do. There's a few tricky jumps later on. This one frag I have, I'm saving very, very specifically. I'm not going to throw it unless I pick up another one. Small chance to die here, I guess. There's some jackals up here that target randomly. Sometimes they'll shoot floods, sometimes they'll target you. Looks like they were nice to me. This ammo thing, cache, whatever you want to call it, on easy and normal difficulty is shotguns, which would be so awesome right now. I would love a shotgun, but it's legendary and they give you assault rifles, which are just garbage. So thankfully we don't have to fight too many flood until we get the shotgun, but it's still kind of annoying. Another elevator, going down. Gonna do the same thing, holding W, getting bumped in the air and not taking fall damage. There is an overshield to our right, but we're not gonna grab it, don't really need it. Takes time. We are gonna grab the active camo. We're not gonna quick camo, because that doesn't work in campaign. We're gonna do the camo jump. Oof, just got it. Hopefully we can pick up a shotgun here. Nope. Sometimes flood will drop in like 5 AR shots, sometimes they take 20. If that's a 5-shot guide, then you can pick up his shotgun quickly. Didn't work. I'm thinking about going for a pretty risky grenade jump at the end.
Do it.
The famous sub nade. If Sub Whistle's watching, he's an inspiration. He just comes up with strats that they're so like alluring, they're just so cool and fun that I just do them, even though they're really risky. So you're supposed to go to the right there and climb up and do stuff, but we're just gonna go straight through here, and we'll try it once. If it doesn't work, we'll just go back and do the normal strat, but it's just so cool. It's a really, really tight grenade jump. I do a lot of grenade jumps in this run, but this is way, way, way tighter than the rest of them, like, combined. Oof, not quite.
Yeah.
Not a big deal, though. We're just gonna do this. Slightly safer. Use the angle. Same height, but you just use the angle of the wall to get by. Slightly less cool. We're not going to activate the bridge, however, because that spawns a ton of enemies. We're just going to go over here, do an identical jump to the earlier one. Hopefully not take too much damage. Oof. Calm yourself down. This room is usually cram-packed full of Flood with all sorts of annoying weapons, but because we did that side jump, it's fully empty. Really, really nice, especially when you have no nades. If you have a couple grenades, it's okay to clear that area out, but we didn't, so we're good.
This is Echo 419.
Coming up on the end of the map, we're finally going to get a shotgun right at the end.
What's going on down there?
The end of this level,
Movement all over.
it's difficult, and the timing of it was kind of a mystery for like, what, 13 years? We only figured it out like 4 or 5 months ago. Kind of counterintuitively, at the end of this, you get to a tower, and there's a bunch of Flood everywhere, and you meet 343 Guilty Spark, and he supplies you with allied sentinels, just these robotic laser guys that are on your side. They're allied with you, and they're fighting the Flood with you. As it turns out, I forget how we stumbled across this, but we finally figured it out. The level end trigger, which seemed random to us in all the tests we did, turns out it's tied to the allied sentinels dying. So once again, we're going to accelerate the failure or the death of our allies for speed gain. There are a lot of Flood around, so we have to clear them. We have to thin them at least before we start fighting. The spawns of the sentinels can kind of screw you out of time. Sometimes you get one like really far away. Hopefully we get a decent spawn and they're tight. They should show up on the radar anytime now.
It's also interesting that the easy ending trigger for this level is completely different than the legendary.
That's
If you
absolutely
have
true.
1 red health on easy, the level will just end way faster.
It'll end like instantly. You'll just get to the tower and it'll end. So 8 seconds from that, the level should end. We got really good spawns. They were really tight, really low to the ground. Sometimes they're really high up and just impossible to kill. All right, this is the library. I've got a few words to say about the library, but I have to talk about a trick first. So if you walk much further beyond where I'm walking, you hit a trigger that spawns. It starts a series of spawns that total like, I don't know, 30 Flood or something really annoying. We're gonna hop around that. We still had to go like under the monitor. You have to progress the level, you have to talk to the blue floating guy and keep him moving along because he opens doors for you. There's a lot of doors to open in this map. But by doing this weird little route we're doing with hopping over the wall and then backtracking a bit, we're skipping, as I said, a couple dozen Flood that would ordinarily be extremely risky and extremely time consuming to fight through. So we're going to go to that door and it's going to be locked for 45 seconds. We can do 1 or 2 donation readouts. This level's going to have a few of those.
Okay. So we have $15 donation from Adam Lang. Good luck on the Halo run, Goat Rope. Definitely a game that has defined who I am. I have been looking forward to this run all week. This donation can go to anyone in the room with the exception of a guy in the Bruins jersey. Hockey Town represents Let's Go Red Wings. Does anyone like to shout that out?
Medal of Chaos.
Sure. We'll go with that.
One
Oh, yeah,
more.
so I said I was going
Sorry.
to talk about the library.
Oh, wait.
Most people have, if you have a memory of the library, it's probably bad. It's a bad map for sure. I'm not going to deny that at all. But we have so many tricks and shortcuts that it somehow like becomes kind of enjoyable again. The best analogy I've ever come up with for it, which is not a great analogy, but it's like a restaurant you don't really care for, but you got a coupon for it. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't enjoy this ordinarily, but it just feels like I'm getting a better deal, so I'll enjoy it.
It's Stockholm
bit.
Syndrome.
Yeah. So a lot of really scary, risky spots in this because the level will spawn a lot of enemies behind you, so you just kind of have to keep moving. I'm gonna grab this overshield and again use the invincibility to hop out and hopefully past all these enemies. Oof. Overshield is really, really crucial. I've got a really good grenade count, which is awesome. Ordinarily, you're running out of grenades at this point, and you absolutely need to save at least one for the end of this floor. That's the first of, like, I guess 3 scary spots in the level. If you're somehow unfamiliar, this is the library. It's just brown hallways and Flood for like 17 minutes. There's 4 floors of this, and it all looks exactly the same, and it's all just the same thing over and over. But as I said, we've got some skips, some deloads, some cool strats, so it's cool. We can do a donation readout. We're riding an elevator.
Okay, $35 from Green Intern. If you can pronounce the following, I'll donate another $15. It's a bra bridge moonlich niche the niche. Not sure if I got that, but hopefully. Let's see. That's a short one. $50 from Eric Jones. Hi there from the rainy east coast of Canada. Good luck, Goat Rope. Crash the legendary run, and happy birthday to Mr. Monopoly.
Happy birthday, Mr. Monopoly.
It's not Mr. Monopoly's birthday.
Not at all, but it's still fun to say. So this is another annoying thing that we get to skip. Ordinarily, you go up to this door, it locks, and then you have to fight a bunch of flood for, I think, 45 or 60 seconds. But for some reason, if you just walk back to here, the timer still ticks on the door, but no enemies spawn. So we're just going to sit here for 45 seconds until the door opens. We can do another donation readout.
$50 from Snick. Halo 1 is an incredible game that has captured my attention for over a decade. I can think of no one better than Goat Rope to show what this game can offer. Goat Rope has been an inspiration of mine since the beginning, and you're all about to see why. Haha, no pressure. Good luck, Goat. Knock 'em cold.
Thank you.
So we mentioned that Halo speedrunning started in 2004. There was actually a contest on the most popular fan site at the time, halo.bungie.org. The contest was called Going Nowhere Fast.
Very clever name.
Yeah, right. And it was an IL competition essentially. So everyone who got into Halo speedrunning around that point got into it because of that competition. I know I was 2004. I was just some little kid. I was 14 years old playing Halo on this site, and I was like, wow, speedrunning is cool. There are skips and tricks, and that's when I actually knew about the concept. And Goat Rope was there at the very beginning. I think you won 2 of the levels.
2 out of the 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Original
That was a lot of fun.
speedrunner.
Yeah, he's OG.
Yeah. So right now, by going through this inner path, we actually skipped a huge amount of flood and despawned a bunch of flood. Actually, there's supposed to be a rocket flood, which are the most threatening flood, obviously. They have rocket launchers. And it's going to permit us to do a grenade jump. Normally, there's a bunch of enemies here that would be doing damage to me, but because they're not, this door that gets jammed halfway shut, we can just skip right through. It's really fun. The objective says hold your position, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah, there's you can cut out a bit of the waiting by doing stuff like this, and there's also it's a little, I don't know if it's obvious visually, but the paths that are being taken, some of them despawn enemies, as you just saw. This level casually is harder for sure.
Oh yeah.
And it's just very interesting to me to see how the triggers are manipulated.
Yeah. Speaking of going nowhere fast, the going nowhere fast third place time back 10 years ago was like 1 hour and 17 minutes on this level, and now it takes like 15 if you're really fast.
Yeah.
So that's how hard the level is.
Just in the last 6 months, Halo speedrunning has blown up so much that we had like a week where we had 7 Halo 1 records beaten.
Yep.
And Halo 1 has been around a long time, and it's been speedrun a long time, so it's very cool to see.
I don't think there's a
guys.
single Halo 1 record that's older than like 6 months right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every Halo series full game record has been set in the past 30 days except Halo 1 Easy.
Seriously.
Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, ODST, and Reach, the Easy and Legendary runs, except Halo 1 Easy, have
I'll
all been
blame
beaten in
LaFuck for
30
not
days.
running recently.
Which is just
Yeah.
crazy. Like, everyone's getting so much better at speedrunning. There's new things being found, new runners.
Yeah.
You can check them all out at HaloRuns.com.
So this is the scariest part of the level. There's a rocket flood and a whole bunch of carriers that can explode. Whoop, rocket, see ya. Hopefully we got him down. Yeah, we got him down. Not out of the woods just yet. Have to get a couple nades in good spots here. Don't fall down there. We should be clear. Alright, that's most of the worry of the library over with, which is nice. Now it's just a bunch of monotony, which is unfortunate. I'm just going to be waiting at another door, another elevator, then another door, so we can do a couple more donation readouts.
Okay. We have a $35 donation from Sir Phobos. Hi, SGDQ. Good luck on the Halo run, Goat Rope. It's been a pleasure watching you improve your time over the past few months. Shoutouts to SG. $5 from Cody. This is my first GDQ I've watched live. Glad to see Halo Combat Evolved is being streamed. I lost my uncle to cancer last month. Donating towards any medical charity is really important to me. Good luck to the remaining runners, and congratulations to the previous runners. Kick this game in the butt, Goat Rope.
Thank you. I'm very low on ammo, but thankfully at this point, there are a few pistol and shotgun guys that we can pick up some grenades, some ammo, some health from. Nice little cache here. if you're going for like a really tight world record, you'd skip that group and just go with no ammo. Oh, I didn't get any pistol ammo. That's too bad. That might be weird. That might give us trouble later, but we'll make do. Right here, it's nice to have pistol ammo. Those guys are so far. Hopefully we can make something work. Right here's a very, very high volatility spot for. I mentioned chain reactions. I'm going to complain about them a lot because they're really annoying. Flood are particularly adept at creating chain reactions. You'll get a group that has these carriers, the exploding guys, and the combat forms, and you'll kill a combat form. He'll drop a grenade, and then a carrier will instantly explode, detonating the grenade and just causing a huge mess and probably killing me. Sometimes a shotgun flood jumps down there. Guess he didn't today.
One of the things we should probably mention about the library in particular, in I would say the last couple of months, we found a new trick called flood bumping. And essentially, sometimes when you shoot these floods, some of them stand back up. And so when you shoot them and you kill them, they lose their hitbox. But when they stand back up, their hitbox doesn't come back up, it just appears. And so if you're standing in just the right position, you can get bumped out of bounds. And so some of these walls actually we're working on. I like to joke that Halo runs as an R&D department because we have a bunch of people who just find strats and like different things and find glitches, and they're kind of working on making it consistent. It's not right now, but maybe in the future.
It's hilarious. That's all I know.
Yeah, that flood bump is really, really cool. We've actually successfully gotten runs done on keys, which is like a 2-minute long level that we'll see in a minute. The trick is still very random, very unpredictable, but yeah, it's just, I mean, proof positive that Halo speedrunning is doing better than it ever has. I mean, I get people in my stream chat asking, do you think everything's found in Halo? Absolutely not. The fact that 13 years later we're finding new ways to clip through doors is just unreal. Like, it's so cool.
I'm waiting for a sock folder or somebody to just come by and break the game.
Wouldn't
honestly.
that be nice?
Just fall through the floor, end the level, boom.
Wrong warp.
Wrong warp.
Wait, no,
Yeah, dude.
Ganon's castle.
So, sort of scary part coming up. It's scary only because the spawns are random and the weapons that the flood are going to have are random. If we get shotgun flood here, and if they spawn near me, it's going to be really annoying. If we don't, then it's going to be a total non-issue. So fingers crossed, I suppose. It's decent. Don't get blown up by these guys. Don't get blown up by these guys. Look at this, there's no enemies here at all. Oh, here they come. AR flood are very, very inconsistent. Flood with assault rifles sometimes will be total crack shots and just take you down in half a second. Sometimes they'll just fire straight up in the air and do nothing at all. This is the worst room in the game. You get trapped inside for 90 seconds, but you can walk over here and hide and the flood will not find you. So we can do a few more donation readouts.
Okay, we have a $105 donation from Teflon Pirate. Goat, I wanted to say it's going to take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that $100 or more could ever do. I blessed the earns down at SGDQ. Gonna take some time to do things we never had. Also, did someone say HaloRuns.com? Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Did I get it?
I thought I'd quickly mention that Doctors Without Borders is the charity we're doing this for, and they say $100 can purchase 17 wool blankets to protect displaced people from the cold, or purchase a year of antivirals for infants to prevent transmissions of HIV from mother to child.
You got Goat's head in the background, that's nice.
This is a riveting room.
90 seconds is a long time.
It's so long in speedrun.
When I'm doing runs, I'll go get a drink or I'll go to the bathroom. It's nice. But people, I think they think that I just abandoned the run because I'll like look at my viewer count and I'll explain what's happening. I'll say, don't worry, this is not a dead run. I'll be back. And then I go and then I come back and 10 people have left because they think that I've just abandoned the run. Every time.
I don't know how. I think when I was like playing this game as a kid, I was really frustrated about this room. And then one day I walked in here and I was like, are they not going to see me? Like I would walk out, walk back in, they'd kind of perk up and then just ignore you. It's weird, AI in this game.
We got a checkpoint on the way out, which is very good because sometimes you won't get a checkpoint, and if you die, you go back to the start of the 90-second room. Great way to lose a whole bunch of time.
Great design by Bungie.
Oh yeah, checkpoints are just a mess. Despite being a PC game, there is no quick save. You're totally at the mercy of the checkpoint system, which, as we discussed before, is fairly broken. There are actually a couple points in the game. I think on level 3 and on level 10, you can actually break the checkpoint system entirely so that it just stops giving you checkpoints at all for the rest of the level. And I've seen people lose runs where they're like really far ahead, have like one little death at the end, and then it reverts them 6 minutes into the past. Instantly dead run.
Yeah, I've been playing Halo games for a long time. I still don't understand how any of the checkpointing works. Like, some of them you can delay by jumping, some of them you can delay by meleeing, delay by shooting, all kinds of weird things.
Yep. So this is the final floor. We're almost out of the library. We're on to the 2 betrayals next. But we got 2 more grenade jumps to deal with first. Just another half-open door that lets us hop through instead of going in through an underground tunnel. The last grenade jump in the level is actually really hype. But it's a ways off because this may surprise you, but we have another door that's locked that we have to wait at. Let's do a donation readout.
Okay, $50 donation from Jim. I have to donate during Goat Rope's run. I was a consistent viewer of his stream back in the early days of SC2. Cool to see him succeed in his new passion. Good luck on the run. Put this money to the Dragon Coins and Moons.
It's a long door. You can keep going.
Okay, $35 from Pro Ace Joker. Gotta get a second donation in this run for sorry, I have to get a second donation in this run, of course. Tell Goat that he's a big nerd because he's speedrunning the only game only nerds speedrun.
That's awesome.
Let's try and get a Halo block for AGDQ. Awesome as always, Goat, and all the other runners.
That Pro Ace Joker guy was one of the first like really good Halo 4 runners. Halo 4 was kind of neglected for a while, but he really stepped up, got good, came up with some tech, really good stuff. So around the corner is supposed to be the big climactic battle at the end of the library. We're not going to do the battle. We're going to do, I guess it's the hardest grenade jump in this level. This door is going to open and then pause for like a second, maybe a half second, and then we're going to have to land on it right during that time. It's going to start moving again, then we're going to have to get through. Hopefully we can get it. Looks good. We're not out of the woods yet. I don't normally do this one. I'm going to turn around to show what we skipped as it spawns. Okay, see ya.
See ya.
It's going to turn around and it might actually still kill me. Hopefully we can use this for cover. I don't hear a shotgun guy, which is good. If you get a shotgun guy nearby, he'll almost always kill you.
Nice.
So we're good.
Was that Deathless? That was a good library.
Yeah, that was a good library.
That was Tesla's.
I'm happy with that. 60-second unskippable cutscene for no reason. It's great. It does give me a chance to talk about the next level. The next level is called 2 Betrayals, and it is a joke and a nightmare and a mess and any other horrible word you could come up with. It is mysteriously disproportionately difficult compared to the other 9 levels. Every Halo runner agrees. It's just enormous. It has very few skips, and it just has tons of really difficult combat. And to make matters worse, a lot of our really smart, our R&D guys, they've come up with these strategies that are just insanely risky, but end up working out often enough that it's good to do them. So this level's gonna have deaths. I'm promising you that now. It's gonna have deaths, but hopefully we can get some cool stuff done. There's a couple cool jumps, a couple cool exploits of what the game tries to get you to do. Yeah, longest level in the game, hardest level in the game. But bear with me because the 2 levels after it are actually super cool. So, okay, as you can see, the level starts and you instantly get shot by 4 sentinels, drop to yellow health. The level starts you with 2 close to mid-range weapons and then throws you into a long-range battle with Sentinels and Covenant. We have a few strats for this room. I'm going to do a safer one. As I said, there are Sentinels and Covenant in this next room fighting each other, and what I want to have happen is the Sentinels to win the fight. So hopefully my frag can hit a couple grunts. It doesn't look like it did. Hopefully we can do a bit more damage to the grunts. It's really impossible to get through. If you get too close there, they will all turn on you, they'll ignore each other and just blow you up. If the Sentinels can kill enough Covenant, then the next wave will spawn. Which is good, because I don't want to have to deal with the next wave myself.
This is a really strange encounter.
Yep. Having like a pistol here would be just fantastic, but it doesn't happen. So I do want to be careful about my grenade usage. How did that guy die? I think he got shot by a Jackal. That's interesting. So I need at least 1 plasma, which I do. I wouldn't mind having more plasmas, but 1 is enough to get by. That went smoothly, absolutely. That room can go way, way, way worse. The Sentinels can turn on you. The Sentinels can lose the fight horribly, and you just have to fight 9 Covenant. Pretty inconsistent. I'm very happy with how that went.
One of the things that makes Halo cool is just every encounter plays out differently, but that's also kind of not that good for speedrunning.
Yeah, I mean, it rewards adaptation, and it's really rewarding to like read a unique situation, react to it, and succeed that way. But on the flip side, it's also super annoying to just get randomed out by something that you've only seen like 1 out of 50 times. I really want to stock up on plasma nades now. We should get a checkpoint as we walk over here.
I haven't located the
See that guy
crash
spawn,
site
he'll
yet.
turn.
We need to buy some time
Good, get an easy
in
stick.
case
That's
the
nice.
monitor or his sentinels find
Sometimes a
way
lot
to
more enemies will
activate
spawn there.
Halo's
Thankfully they
final
didn't.
weapon
2 elites
without
to be concerned with down here. Usually a nade place like that will scare them away. Good enough. We're going to drop down. Might lose a bit of health. That's good enough. I'm often down here with 1 red, and it'll checkpoint you no matter what. You can be no ammo, no health, no shields, and it'll just checkpoint you anyway. Right now we're dependent on this elite's AI, and it looks like he sees me, which is really not preferable. When he sees me, this Wraith sees me, and the Wraith is the biggest threat here. He's moved into a pretty bad position. He might still kill me, absolutely might still kill me, but this is a position where he can kind of exploit the way his targeting works. He might just destroy the Banshee. We really want to get in the Banshee. No, not going to happen. So what we can do, this is, again, a situation where you can die to it once, read, and adapt. Hopefully we can avoid, nah, he's got a really bad path for us, so he's going to see us every time. We're going to have to find some way to get past this Wraith. It's going to be tough. This is just what 2 Betrayals does. If you can get close enough to it, it'll stop shooting.
We'll need it to reach the pulse generator in time.
6,
It feels like you're not supposed to be
7,
doing this.
back up, 8. A very powerful shotgun. That's optimally, if the elite doesn't see you, you can sneak up to the Wraith and do that. It's really weird that we got to do it there because the Wraith was alerted. Usually it'll run you over or something. Whatever, I'll take it. Moving on to the first pulse generator. Story-wise, there are 3 pulse generators on this map that we have to visit and detonate, and each one that you detonate actually drains your shields, and then it spawns a bunch of enemies near you. So it's going to be pretty tough encounters. This first one is whatever. It just kind of teaches you that you lose shields, but later on things are going to get tough. I'm glad we have 4 yellow. If you have like 2 health, you kind of have to stop here on your way out because these sentinels kill you. But with 4 yellow, we should be able to get through. Nothing's a guarantee in this game. Sometimes they'll all just focus you and melt you instantly, but we're cool. We got it. Grab a needler for fun. We're not going to use it. It's just cool. Weird quirk about the Banshee I'm going to use here. The Banshee actually falls faster than it flies. So if I want to descend really quickly, I just take my hands off the controls, and that's way faster than actually flying down. So I'm going to grab this rocket launcher really quick because we're absolutely going to need it. We used to do strats that didn't use the rocket launcher, and they really were not enjoyable. Speaking of not enjoyable, this next room, this is the room that I had nightmares about last night. So it's just got a bunch of Covenant in it, and then some guy was like, what if we grenade jump past them all? And it worked. And now everybody has to do it, because that's what all the records do. So we're going to move over here to the left, alert the enemies, throw a grenade, and hopefully that will distract them, most of them to the left. You can watch the radar, they're kind of moving left. I'm going to chuck a grenade here, hope we don't get super targeted. Jump up, rocket these guys, drop down to the left so we don't miss a trigger, rocket 2 of the Jackals, hopefully get a stun with the shotgun on this guy. He missed the overcharge, that's awesome. Around the corner, don't have a checkpoint yet, still have to fight enemies. Gonna blow everything I have just to win this fight. Really hope the elites are dead, or at least no shields. There's one. Not dead at all. Yeah, that's gonna happen. This room alone has killed so many more of my runs than any other room. It's really quite nightmarish. But to clear it manually, like to actually fight all the enemies as Bungie would have you do, takes just minutes and minutes of time. So retrying it a couple times is still perfectly legitimate. Oof, 1 red already. Yeah, this is probably not gonna work out. Might get lucky. Nah, gonna get needled.
It's kind of a gift and a curse that certain parts of this level are as hard as they are. The curse is obviously that they're really hard for speedrunning. The gift is that when you do it right, it feels really good.
Absolutely. The record videos for this level are incredibly impressive. The strategies are just total insanity, and they just work one after the other after the other. This is probably, despite being such a pain of a level, it's kind of I would say it's the most popular category right now for people running individual levels. I think just because it's like, I don't know, it's like the Everest of Halo 1. Like if you can get a really, really sick 2 Betrayals time, it's just amazing. I actually put off getting good at this level for a very long time. I had the world record for this game for a while, and there wasn't really anybody contesting me until this dude named Khan shows up, and he just grinds this level all day for like a week and just gets amazing at it, gets all the records for it, and then he starts doing a full game run, and on all 9 other levels, he was slower than me, but on this level alone, he beat me by like 3 minutes and cut my full game record, took it away, and I finally thought, okay, I actually have to learn this level now. And I used a lot of the strats that he developed, so I owe a lot to him. But really, like, every level's strategy is a collaborative effort. Like we said, Halo speedrunning has been around for over a decade now, almost exactly to the day. But historically, there was a lot of like secrecy. I don't want to speak too negatively about the old days. The old days were great, but there was a very low amount of communication. But nowadays, it's like a strat gets found and it's just everywhere. Like somebody posted it in the Skype chat, and then suddenly like 10 streams go live, all testing it, figuring it out, just working on it, making it happen, and then as soon as it's worked out, there's 6 more streams all going for world records instantly. It's really fun watching this like frenzy of action just occur out of nowhere. On like a random Wednesday, someone will just find a new strat, and it's like, oh, 3 world records for whoever can pull this off.
That Goldie juked you so hard.
Yeah, he really did. So right here, I really want the Covenant to fight the Flood. Looks like one of them is, the other one's not. That's good enough. We're gonna lose a bit of health, but that's whatever. Oh, Jackal, no.
Oh no.
Oof, okay.
Much.
Yeah. Really don't like... Oh, that was a Flood. That's weird. Anyway, we got through. 2 red is not optimal, obviously, but we can make it work. This room's called the Hell Room. It's not as bad as it used to be. We've got a strat, but I think this is the one room in the entire game with... it has more Flood than any other room in the game. So we're gonna do the 300 strategy, where we just lure them all into a choke point. Oh, hey guy, what are you doing? And hopefully kill them all in a tight, compact little area without taking too much damage in response. I don't know if I aggroed enough of them. Really want to be careful around these little infections, because I mentioned earlier that if they touch you when you have shields up, they just pop instantly, but if your shields drop, they don't pop, and they sit there doing like a weird amount of DPS for such a little enemy. I want to stick this elite there. Got him, that's really good. Sticking that elite is important because in the next hallway, there's a battle going on right now between those 2 elites and 3 flood form. And if the elites win, then a 4th flood form carrying a rocket launcher comes running around the corner to kill me. And rocket flood are really tough to avoid in that tiny hallway. But if we can lure these flood, if the flood win the fight, which happened because I stuck the elite, then the rocket flood will be around that corner. He still exists, but we get this checkpoint, and he's way easier to kill. There's a tiny chance that he's just gonna like quick shot us, but it'll be a 5-second revert. Not a big bother. All right, we got him. That's good.
Nice.
This next room's pretty chill. There's a health pack, which is nice, but after it is the second bridge. Second bridge is kind of infamous for being inconsistent and horrible. There's just a lot of factors going on that bridge. But we'll be full health. We've got decent rocket count, a couple of nades. Should be okay. We'll take it kind of slow. There have been a lot of like iterations of what strategies people use. Oh, look at this. Got the health pack, which is good. Don't hit me. Thank you. No. Losing a bit of health, but losing a lot more health than I want. This might make things... yeah, we'll make it work. Oh, I might just die to the infections.
Man.
This is real sketchy.
Die.
This is gonna be
All right, so this is going to be a test.
This is really hard.
Yeah.
I might be in hot water right now. We'll do what we can. I'm going to be very happy if this works out. I guess roll call. We've got 2 Banshees in the air, whole bunch of flood on this bridge. We've got flood coming from the hallway behind us. We've got flood on the opposite bridge. There are 0 Covenant around for the flood to target, so they're all focusing me. I don't want to move forward until the Banshees are down. And to kill them, I need them to fly directly at me. So I'm gonna have to stand still so they don't divert their path. It's really scary to do that because you're looking up and you can get snuck up on by those explodey flood, or anybody really. Oof, and oh, yeah. Because you have to stand still so they don't divert their path, you have to tank their damage, which is why 1 red is particularly bad here. Something not a lot of people know is that the health in this game is actually like 70 or 80% of your survivability. Like on legendary, shields do very little. This guy's right on me.
Banshees.
Yeah, it's tough to predict their pathing. Sometimes you'll get lucky. In a segmented run, they just hold forward and run past this entire thing. you'll get lucky and the flood will actually kill one for you. Really, really nice when that happens. Sometimes they'll fly in and get themselves jammed in here, and you can just shotgun them to death like we did on the Wraith earlier. Shotgun's surprisingly effective. Watching the radar, don't get blown up by these guys. With one red, if one of these blows up next to me, it will just one-shot me instantly. Hope that doesn't happen. Really want this Banshee to see me. Looks like he might, yeah. And, alright, that's 2 down. That's good. Now we have to deal with the flood.
Can you get another checkpoint by going back to the loading zone?
Nope, no repeatable checkpoints that we're aware of on this map. This is one of the levels that I alluded to earlier when I said there are levels that we can break all the loads on. Like we can make it an empty map that you can just run straight to the end on. But if you do that, the level end trigger is not there and you can't complete the level. Very frustrating to be like so close to having a really easy strat for this otherwise incredibly difficult level. I always bug our R&D guys like, hey, you find any TB skips recently? And they try, because they're noble. But there's very little that we've found. There's 3 rocket flood here. Their targeting is kind of erratic. Sometimes they'll just hit you in the face, sometimes they'll blow themselves up. Oh, really?
Man.
Yeah, like I said, 1 red here is just gonna be a real mess, though. But we'll get through it.
This is one of the hardest sections in the game, and with 1 red, it's just insane. It's
absolutely.
really unfortunate.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, like every other room in this level has some kind of ominous name. Like it's like the Hell Room. This is the one that always kill runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a hard level.
Yeah, probably like the 4 hardest areas in the game are all on this map. There are weird other strats for this that involve like using a pistol. You can fire, I think it's 24 pistol shots will kill a Banshee. I used to do that, but that's a lot of time just looking straight up and inviting Flood to just come up and smack you or blow you up. All right, Banshee's down. Let's try this again. If we had more nades, the rocket flood would be less of a threat. You can usually nade over the hill like that, or over the little mohawk there. The way the flood ran forward last time there is actually pretty uncommon. They usually stay in their little area here. You can shotgun them over the wall and they just rocket the wall like that. Nice little protection. I don't like rocketing the flood because I want to pick up their ammo, and if you rocket them, it goes flying away. I think we're clear. There's 1 rocket pack here at least. Yeah, we got 4 from that, which is nice. You usually only get 2. Maybe I picked up 2. I don't know. Looks like we're out of the woods, thankfully. That could have gone a lot worse. This room is one of those rooms, like the very first room in the game, where like 24 times out of 25, I would say, the flood path a certain way. Then once in a while, okay, they didn't do it this time, once in a while, 2 flood will just come barreling around that corner, and I've got a rocket equipped, and I can't use it, obviously. And I just die instantly because don't have time to switch to the shotgun. It's, like I said, there are a couple hundred things that have like a 1% chance of happening. So you're gonna run into some of them on every run, and you can't get that mad at it. If you get mad at random stuff, you're not gonna get far in Halo Legendary. Absolutely not. This is about the halfway point in the level, I think. Maybe a bit further. We have no grenades, unfortunately. There's a grenade jump in this level, in this room here. Skips a little bit. It's just kind of cool. It's like up that window there. But whatever. This room's not difficult otherwise.
Flood jump.
I'm not gonna flood jump with 1 red.
Oh, yeah.
It will kill me instantly. There is a way to jump off a flood's head, but it's generally only done on easy because the flood will kill you very quickly. It looks cute, but it only saves like, I don't know, 12 seconds.
But it looks cute.
It does look cute. So we're going to be back outdoors. We're going to have to get into a ghost. Again, 1 red, not optimal. But if we can get into the ghost, there's a health pack soon. So hopefully we can get the cool
let's take care of the
thing.
next
Hopefully the Banshee misses a lot. Nope. There's a Banshee that's always training on you, and there's a red elite that sometimes trains on you.
Okay, let's take care of the next pulse generator.
Keep it going, keep it going. Okay, we should be in the clear. There's a bunch of people around, but generally once you're this far, it's okay. Really want to give a wide berth to that Wraith. He's got pretty good aim if you're too close. That's nice to get through there. 2 tries at 1 red is pretty acceptable.
Yeah, just for reference, everything that's happened so far could have gotten a lot worse.
He's been at one red health for like 10 minutes now. He finally gets a health pack.
Boom, health pack, great.
This level is just so mean.
It's great. It's. Yeah, there really aren't words for how much I don't like that level.
It's an awful level.
But it's nice when it's over. But as I said earlier, hang in there because the next 2 levels are actually super cool. Hopefully we get a checkpoint here. Sometimes it doesn't. Thank you. Sort of a risky area coming up. I mean, an absolutely risky area. I want to delay getting in this Banshee a little bit so that this other Banshee flies over us. If you get in that Banshee immediately, you'll get shot by that Banshee. It'll fuel rod you and drop you to 1 red Banshee health like instantly. So you just delay it by like a second or 2. It looks sloppy if I don't explain it. It just looks like I missed getting in the Banshee. But it's an intentional delay. Oof, that's dangerous. Just for safety's sake, for taking less damage. This is the 2nd generator out of 3. Yeah, we got a checkpoint. A lot of flood in this room. There's almost definitely going to be some rocket flood. Generally, like, there's a chance I'm going to die to the rocket flood, but these ones are usually less threatening than the other rocket flood, which is nice. As you can see, rocket flood just standing there, kind of looking at the ceiling, not doing a whole lot. There's always one sentinel who's super annoying to kill, because shotguns are bad at killing. I don't want to waste a rocket. Just have to sit here awkwardly shooting him. Sometimes you can grab a plasma weapon, but that's not going to happen. Where'd that guy end up? There he is. So hopefully we get a checkpoint.
There you go.
There you go. All right, checkpoint time. I'm going to try a risky exit here. There are a lot of enemies about to spawn. I'll try this once because it looks cool. If we can get it, that'll be good. Should be enough. No.
Oh, so close.
Pretty close. That's all right. We'll do the safer exit. They spawn a lot of enemies behind you, so we have to do a lot of backtracking here. And use a lot of explosives. Pretty much empty the nades. There's very little actual ground combat left in the level. There's a little bit, but not a whole lot. So we're pretty safe to just blow everything we have on all these flood. As I said, the room here really tries hard to spawn enemies behind you, but if you walk the exact path I did, it avoids pretty much all of them. I'd like to have grenades right now for a weird purpose, but I don't have them. Maybe I'll jump. There's a checkpoint here that I don't want to get. If the game will try to give you a checkpoint, and if it can't, then it will just keep trying until it can. So by jumping, it decides, oh, the Master Chief's in an unsafe area. He's jumping. So it doesn't give you a checkpoint. And right now it's still trying to give me a checkpoint, and it will keep trying until I become safe. So what I want to do is fly past this kind of dangerous area, get a checkpoint, and then I can backtrack to get what I want. We're in a Banshee, but I want to switch to a Ghost, the ground vehicle, which may seem counterintuitive, but it will make sense once we get to the next trick. I think like 1 of 2 tricks on this entire level. They're very sparse, but it's a cool one. So if we go past here, it should checkpoint us, and then we should hit a loading zone. I like to cross the loading zone because sometimes you'll get lucky and it will despawn all the rocket flood down here. I guess I didn't describe this area. There are 4 rocket flood here, minimum, and then if you kill too many enemies, I think 2 or 3 more rocket flood spawn. Super annoying. Like if you just had to fly past it, it wouldn't be a big deal, but we really, really need to get this Ghost. So hopefully there aren't too many. Yeah, these are AR flood. I want to leave them alive because if I kill too many flood, then that second wave will spawn with the extra ones. Getting past their first try is really nice. Yeah. Very happy about that. That does not always happen. Absolutely not. So now that we have a Ghost, we're going to progress, and we're going to confuse the level a little bit. Bungie, wanting to, I guess, shake up the gameplay of this level, decided, let's break this door so that a vehicle can't get through. It only opens that wide, and Bungie looked at that and thought, okay, that's as wide as a player. Vehicles are wider than that. Problem solved. I guess they didn't anticipate speedrunners. We're gonna lodge the Ghost in sideways, hop out, rocket the tail, and we're good. That's called the 100% strat. It gets its name from how often it works. So the level's kind of confused right now, and I have to slow down. It thinks you're gonna be on foot, so the triggers that we have to hit, as I mentioned, if we miss 1 trigger on this map, it just ruins everything. So we have to slow down for the triggers because it's looking for a player walking, not a Ghost. So you can actually go too fast for it to even track you. Like I don't even know. But we had to slow down, and we have to do something in this next area as well, just because we need the whole level to spawn. It's weird, but it works. We're almost through. The rest of the level is pretty, not trivial, but compared to the rest, it's kind of the home stretch. Then we get to do keys, which is awesome. Keys is very cool. If you've seen Halo runs before, you know all about keys. It's like one of the more famous levels. Right here I have to stop at the side and kill some flood to sort of force a trigger. The next area contains the Banshees that we need to get to the end of the level, and if you... The trigger for those Banshees to spawn is for some number of enemies in this area to die, and if you're on foot, that'll happen organically because the Covenant and the Flood are fighting. You have to kill someone to get by. But if you just drive past, it will fail to load, and you will not have the flying vehicle required to beat the level. So that's why I had to stop and kill those 5 guys. There's 4 rocket flood here that aren't usually a threat, but anybody with a rocket is somewhat of a threat. They don't usually kill me. We're past, which is cool. There's another checkpoint here that doesn't always happen. Hopefully it does. There we go. That's good. So we're going to hop in the Banshee, fly to the end, and this horrible level will be done with, which is nice. This could have gone a lot worse. I'm content with that, despite the second bridge. That was a bit brutal, but we made it through. Alright, there's a slight chance you can get mortared as you hop into this thing. Didn't happen. Very good. That red nav point is our home-free destination. Next level is very cool. I don't know how much I should give away. Whatever. The next level has a physics glitch that was found, I don't know, 2001, 2002. People knew about it, but it was so weird and like tough to do in single player that nobody did it in speedruns. You can actually look back and see a forum post by me in I think 2005 or 2006 saying, no, that trick is way too difficult. Nobody's ever going to do it in an individual level run, let alone a full game run. Don't be ludicrous. I'm going to do that trick. Hopefully it'll go well. We've improved the setup for it quite a bit. Fantastic. So this is keys. In a nutshell, this level's kind of like pretzel shaped in that it loops back on itself. Right now we're actually very near one of the final rooms of the level, separated by a door and some walls. For an ordinary game player, that would be enough to keep them out. But that's not us. So we're going to clear the flood here as well as we can. Hopefully grab a shotgun. This might mess with this guy's AI. Come on, come on. Alright, so we want to keep this buddy flood alive. We're going to shoot this shield till it disappears. I'm going to hop on top of it and position myself. I'm going to keep shooting it. When I stop shooting, this shield will reappear. And if I'm standing in a very, very precise position, like a weirdly precise position, the shield will intersect with my body in such a way that the physics engine gets very confused. It's very upset that these two things are stuck together, and it should eject me out of the map, hopefully on top of the rafters. Oh yeah, first try. So, fingers crossed on this one. There's kind of a glitch that sometimes will warp you around as you do this. All right, we got it. We're through. That's good. We're very lucky that there are rafters there. The ceiling itself is totally not solid. If you're in like just a square room in the Halo engine, you'll just fall through. So thankfully we have rafters there to walk along. The level's a bit confused now because we're coming from the wrong way. This is where we're supposed to come from. And it's going to try to load enemies, but it doesn't give them AI, so they're just standing here. We do have to kill them all, though. It's very, very important that we kill them all. Because we are about to trigger a long, unskippable cutscene with Captain Keyes.
And you can actually die in the cutscene if you don't kill everything.
Yes. If there are enemies alive, they will come into the cutscene and fight the Master Chief. You are helpless because it's unskippable, and it will actually revert you to the start of the cutscene, or before the cutscene, and you'll have to repeat it over and over and over. And I've seen really great runs just die to this. If they leave one flood up, they get reverted. I think the worst I've ever seen, I think Left over here had a run that had 4 cutscene watches. Those are the early days. That was rough. It happens. I've had my share of chokes. I don't mean to call you out, but that's just the nature of Halo. So, but thankfully we have a way to stop that from happening. The other benefit of killing all the flood is that immediately after this checkpoint, this cutscene finishes, you get a checkpoint. But if there's a single enemy alive, it doesn't checkpoint you. So we got the checkpoint, we're good. This hallway's supposed to have a really tough fight. If we get a perfect nade, it should confuse the elites into just looking at the ground. Didn't work, might die here. Don't block me. Yeah, that'll happen. It's pretty quick to retry. I think the trick to it is like they have to see the grenade before they see you. Yeah, so they're just staring at the nade doing nothing. 0 damage as you walk through. Really nice. I do want to be careful as I leave. Yeah, just want to make sure that they engage the flood and start fighting them. Sometimes they'll run down the hall at you. We're pretty close to the end now. I'm gonna, these guys don't see me. Oh, there we go. If we kill these 3, there's a chance we get a checkpoint. I'd really like to get it. Nah, it's not gonna give it to me. Okay, so we're just gonna have to risk it. That's annoying. So we're just gonna have to run past some Covenant. Thankfully they're fighting the flood. We're going to drop down here, and from here, the rest of the level's just on a timer. So that's keys, really fast level. Reed mentioned going nowhere fast, the 2004 speedrun contest. I won this level in that contest with a time of 13 minutes and 18 seconds because nobody did this strategy. Right now, the world record for this level is 224 on Legendary. Yeah. Anyway, this Banshee flies through walls. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Like the level's on a timer, and you just get to fly around in this broken, weird Banshee. It like turns faster, it goes faster, it's invincible. It's just weird. All right, one level left. The Maw. Very cool level. I like it a lot. It has, okay, so we found a new trick. We found a new setup for an old trick like a couple weeks ago, and it's not totally polished, but it's super cool, so I kind of want to do it. Hope that's okay with you guys. It's a lot cooler than the boring where you just fight enemies and walk through hallways. So I'd like to go for it. Hopefully it goes well. I won't try it too many times if it's not working out, but we'll see. This first area can be inconsistent. There's an enemy spawn that doesn't always happen. Hopefully I can get a shotgun. Nope, we didn't get the spawn. Okay, this hall's kind of tough without a shotgun, but we'll make do. Hopefully we can get some good explosives. Oh, that was bad. I knocked my own nade back. There we go. Delivered me a shotgun. Alright, decent clear of that. Hopefully there's not a carrier around this corner. There is. He might chain rack me. Nope. Okay, so this is where the trick happens. I'm gonna get a checkpoint. Have to kill everything here to get a checkpoint. Boom. Alright. This is massive shout out to, again, one of our R&D boys, Josh, who came up with this setup. So this door I'm backed up against is about to get bashed open by a hunter. If you're parked right here, you get pushed out of bounds. And if you jump backwards twice, you should land on this ledge. Jump up again onto a different invisible ledge. Start backing up left. So I want to progress left right now, but the way the game renders the world, it's not showing where I want to go. So what I have to do is very gently nudge myself into a position where my camera is in the next room, so it renders, but not my player model. So I want to stay out of bounds while just poking the camera into the map. Very, very precise, very, very tough to do. All right, we got it. We're up on top. Now we have to do weird like ledge jumping and invisible thing jumping. Sometimes you can get a checkpoint up here. I guess it's not going to be nice to us. A lot of very tiny, bumpy, invisible things to jump across. Checkpoint? Yeah, awesome. That's good, that's good. This is the toughest jump here. Still got it. And we're through. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, that's another one of those tricks that somebody did in co-op once 10 years ago, and we just haven't had a way to do, like getting vision that way. Like in co-op, you can just have the second player run into the room and it gives vision. No problem. Come on, Sentinels. So it's really easy to do in co-op, but very few people did co-op speedruns. They're much less popular. So being able to do that in single player is just revolutionary. That's another one of those things that the 2005 version of myself would have said, no, not in a million years, no chance. This hallway's a bit scary. A lot of explosive guys at the end, but okay.
What?
Yeah.
Infection.
Oh, that's my checkpoint. That's weird. Oh, I hope I don't have the checkpoint glitch. Sometimes this might be really tragic. I don't know. Sometimes this level glitches out and just stops giving checkpoints. I think I mentioned that earlier. Really hope it doesn't happen. That would be unfortunate. Whatever. It's a cool level. I like it. There is actually a second bump you can do like that we didn't do. It saves like 3 seconds and also omits a checkpoint that I really wanted. So we didn't do it. But if you look up the individual level run, I think that's by Josh, the guy who developed all these strats. It's actually very fast and does both bumps. So I had enough health there to do that grenade jump. You don't always get to. The sentinels in the hall will sometimes do too much damage. That's what happened the first time. That's a carrier. Once again, lots of explosives. I think there's supposed to be a rocket launcher on the floor, but I think it got pushed through. It's really glitchy sometimes. Yeah. Once in a while you'll get lucky and you'll get to just charge through this room. But no, these guys ran forward and we had to stop and kill them. Oof. Oh, rocket or AR guy. This is really outrageous. Okay, we have shields. I think we're good. Bit of shotgun ammo. We're gonna dip over here for the overshield, which is nice. It's gonna help us out later. Still enemies alive here. It's really like bizarre how many enemies they cram packed into tiny little hallways on this map. It's all good though. We're on our way now to the engine room of the POA. We're gonna blow it up, blow up Halo. Not a whole lot of tough combat left in the run. There's like one difficult fight, but it shouldn't give us too much trouble. Right now we're gonna pick up a rocket launcher from the armory, which we're gonna use to blow up the engine. Little known fact, at the end of this hall, we're not gonna go look at them, but at the end of this hall are invisible flood. It's the only place in the entire game, maybe in the entire series?
Yes.
At least the entire game, where you have invisible flood. Weird fact. So right now I wanna make sure I have frag grenade selected because it's about to hide my HUD as I'm gonna do a grenade jump. And if you have the wrong grenade selected, it goes really badly. This is, I guess, the only place in the game where you have cycles in the traditional speedrun sense. We have to blow up 4 cores on the engine, and they have sort of flaps on the front that open and close every, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, which means that if you get behind on the cycle, you're going to lose a bunch of time, and that has the added effect of increasing enemy spawns in a way. Like, enemy spawns in this room ramp up over time pretty sharply, so if you get a perfect clear, you'll deal with like 4 enemies total, maybe, and if you take another 15-20 seconds longer than that, you're gonna have maybe 5 or 6 times as much. It gets really, really difficult really fast. So we got a quick double on that side. Hopefully we can get the double on this side as well. You're not actually supposed to be able to kill 2 at once, you're supposed to do them 1 at a time. When you open a second one, the first one starts to close, but if we do the timing right, you can actually land a rocket in there before it closes. As you can see, it's trying to, but you can squeeze that in there. That's 3. That's 4. Happy about that. Don't want to get chased too hard in here. These guys can eat your checkpoint.
Keep it up. Only 1 more fusion reactor to go.
Cortana's a bit confused. She still thinks we're blowing stuff up. Last fight of the game. There are some really cool ways to do this fight, but we're going to be kind of safe. What's this all about? Chasing me? These guys love to throw grenades. This might get weird because I had to turn around, but there's a checkpoint right there, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. No, we didn't get the checkpoint. That's right. So where are we right now? What side are we on? That's this side. Okay, so we just hit that.
At least you didn't get the checkpoint.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't even notice you got the checkpoint. I thought you were going back to the
I'm really
cafeteria
glad.
bump.
I'm really glad we didn't get the checkpoint glitch. That would be a run ruiner. I actually think. So my pet theory. We don't really know why the checkpoint glitch happens, but my pet theory is that it's caused by skipping certain cutscenes too fast. That's why it happens on TNR after Billy the Beast. And I feel like the Ma bridge cutscene is what causes it. So by skipping the bridge, doing the cafeteria skip, it doesn't do it. I don't know. It's just like the closest thing I can come up with. We really don't know. Oof, big chain reaction. Looks like we're good.
It's a dangerous elevator.
Very dangerous elevator. The grunts with fuel rod guns, I guess some people might not know this. Grunts have fuel rod guns, but Bungie decided they didn't want you to have fuel rod guns. So it's a really powerful gun. It's like the Covenant rocket launcher. So when you kill a grunt who has one, they drop their gun, it fizzles for 2 seconds, and then explodes, which can chain react grenades that are on the ground. And these Spec Ops elites with the black armor can drop like 4 to 6 grenades each. So if you clear this area out quickly, there will be like 19 grenades on the ground, and then the fuel rods will explode, and the entire place just ignites completely. It's a real mess if you're in there. Some people do the run that way and just dodge the chain reactions. I'm not brave enough for that. Whatever, that's their life. This is the Warthog run. Very cool part of the run. It's kind of iconic, even if it makes no sense in the story. Like, you can look at the Pillar of Autumn in the cutscenes, and this huge trench doesn't exist. And it's also like 3 kilometers long, and the POA is not 3 kilometers long. Makes no sense in the story, but it's a cool finale to the game. I like it a lot. Not a whole lot to talk about. I can mention that a lot of people ask me the difference between the Xbox and PC versions of this game, and to be totally honest, there are actually very few. This area is one of the few where there's a measurable difference, a measurable advantage to one side or the other. And that's in PC's favor. Congratulations, PC. Using the mouse to turn, like, you can turn the Warthog as fast as you want. You can cut a way tighter path around some of these tight turns. You can like slalom between those pillars like you saw me do. That you just can't do that with a controller. There's a chance to die here with these Sentinels. No, we're cool. When you run over Sentinels, they hit the ground, they explode, they do quite a bit of damage. 2 Sentinels can kill you, I think. I don't know. Just a bit more driving to do. We could do 1 or 2 donation readouts, that'd be fine.
Okay, so we have a $50 donation from Zero Pad. You guys make games look like a piece of cake. Cake. Great job and good luck to all. We have a $50 donation from That Ara Guy. Hey Goat, just wanted to wish you luck for your legendary run. A big community shout out to the Halo speedrun community. 2014 truly has been the year of Halo, and we've all accomplished so much in a few short months. Final note, Halo Wars leaderboards on HaloRuns.com. Win, go.
We were talking about it way back during HGDQ, me and Monopoly, and I was just like, I got this feeling 2014 is going to be the year of Halo.
That's
and
a fact.
between competitive multiplayer and speedrunning, both kind of making a resurgence, it kind of turned out that way, so I'm really excited.
Absolutely. So a little bit more driving. This is the point if you don't know the story of Halo. This is where you're supposed to get picked up, and then the Pelican that picks you up crashes and burns. So we're not going to stop, despite Cortana's pleading, and just going to continue on to the end. A little bit more driving. Oh yeah, there's an Easter egg that I want to show off here. This is an old enough game that not everybody's seen the Easter eggs. It's kind of a fan favorite. I won't spoil it, I'll just show it.
Ship's inventory shows one longsword fighter is still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
Couple more turns. We do have time for this despite being on a timer. Pop out, walk over here. What's this guy doing?
Good thing that nipple's waiting for me at the starship. Cause, man, if I worked up a big, stretchy thirst.
That's the thirsty grunt. That's all he does.
It's goofy.
And you
There's
killed
some weird Easter eggs in this game, too.
There certainly are.
On 343 Guilty Spark, actually, way above the level, there's just a Marine standing out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And no one really knows why he's there.
Up ahead, there's a gap in the
Oh yeah,
grid.
this jump's cool.
At top speed,
Oh yeah, this jump is really risky, so.
Here we go. Wah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
enough,
yeah.
just enough. Still counts, still counts.
That's 270 life.
That's so just it does look really cool to 360, but it's also the like strategically superior thing to do. Halo physics are weird, and if you go off that ramp totally straight, you have a very real chance, like a 30% chance of flipping and crushing yourself and dying. 360ing for some reason levels your vehicle out. It's great. This is another point where you're supposed to have to get out of your vehicle, but we're not going to. We're just gonna wedge our way through with the weird like marshmallowy Halo 1 physics. Boom. All right, get ready for time. As soon as the screen goes fully white, it's going to be time, which is happening right now.
Nice. 141.19.
141, are you serious?
141.
Oh, 151. Oh, sorry.
151.
I
thought
was
that
like,
wasn't a 141.
I was like, I was
Yeah,
confused
really
too. You
weird
lost 3 minutes on
141.
2 betrayals. Yeah.
No, that's totally good. That's
Good
better,
run, though. Very
better
good.
than 419.
much better
Yeah,
than 419.
so that's Halo. I'm GoRo. Anything else?
We have some shout outs, right?
Oh yeah, thanks a lot to 343 and Waypoint and the Halo community.
They've been very supportive during this like time of growth for speedrunning. They've been there for us. It's been
Yeah,
really
I think
cool.
we got a tweet from 343, and then Team Beyond also gave us a shout out.
Yep.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Jason Jones, creative designer for this game. He said in an interview, I think in 2013, he said, the real tragedy of Halo was that there was no reason to replay the game. And GoRo here is proof that, I mean, all of us speedrunners, if you make a good game, we will keep play it and keep playing it, because that's what we do.
13 years later.
Shut them down. We'll need them later.
And we're all excited for where Halo will go next.
Yeah.
So,
Follow good on Twitch.
Yep. HaloRuns.com.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
Fancy the look?
Good run. Good run.
Well, thank you, GoRope, for finally making Halo legendary. It's like a